Let me see if there's any like actual hogwash that we can. Dustin show.
Yeah.
Reacting to senator saying men and women are equals. Questions raised by false deportations and arrests of pro-Palestine. Oh wait, this is gonna be Joe being woke because he has the. Oh, actually, never mind. Let's see.
The Joe Rogan experience.
You want to talk about this?
31-year-old makeup artist falsely deported to El Salvador prison. Lawyer says. Immigration attorney say a gay Venezuelan makeup artist seeking asylum in the U.S. was wrongly detained as a gang member and deported to El Salvador, a case becoming a flashpoint in the debate over the Trump administration's deportation of hundreds of migrants to a notoriously inhumane El Salvador mega prison. Man. So again, it's hard to know.
It's hard to know
what's real and what's not real. But if it is real, this is hard.
Wait, hold on.
Dude, this is so funny. It's always hard to know if new information that's coming my way is challenging my pre-established biases of Trump always being in the right and saving America. It's hard to know.
Yeah. No, anytime the information is credible from a credible source, from an accredited source.
Yeah, I didn't see this on a Facebook. I didn't see this on a Facebook post. So.
If it's like some sort of obscure, deep, like random ass article from some like fringe website that has no credibility whatsoever, that's the thing that you follow. I just can't understand this idea that like for some reason that are correct, and those are the things you should listen to, and you should throw out anything that's accredited or you know, it has been
just
backed by
confirmation
research
bias.
or
it's confirmation
or
bias. He's just
education or anything like
in
that.
his mind, he thinks everything Trump's doing is good. So obviously, this doesn't make him feel good because, like, deep down inside, there's still a human being down there that's going, "Hey, it's kind of fucked up that we're just like randomly sending people over to this like slave labor camp in El Salvador, which is totally illegal, by the way." You know,
but I've become less angry at hogs and more angry at Democrats.
You're okay. Well, that's the welcome.
Well, no, because it's like
because Democrats know better.
Because
or they're supposed to know better.
Yes. Well, the thing is like I'm so angry because it's like, look, like I feel bad for a lot of these people are fucking disenfranchised and they can't afford to feed their families. And there have been multiple different Democratic administrations over the last several generations, and the wealth inequality gap has only gotten larger. So if you are desperate and you live in middle America and you can't feed your family and grocery prices are high and your wages stagnated and you can't afford a house and education is through the roof, you're desperate and you're more vulnerable to start to you're susceptible to believe these crazy batshit ideas because at the very least the Republicans are good at messaging and connecting to their base by appealing to their anger.
Yeah, they identify that people are angry. They then take that anger and move it in a direction that suits their purposes. The Democrats, on the other hand, are like, "Why are you angry? Everything's great," you know, and that's what's making people even angrier in general.
Yeah, and they just never learn.
Yeah,
horrible. But if you think about it, Joe, like I say, if you're rounding up hundreds of people, mistakes are going to get made because everyone's human, and you then have to have a system.
First of all, I mean, if we're deporting people, like, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean? Well, how come this guy doesn't get deported? Okay, what the that about?
I think that allows you to amend and make adjustments for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can't be bury your head in the sand and pretend it didn't happen.
No.
Yeah.
And this is the trouble with government. The incentive structure is all wrong. Like, to admit that.
Bro, what are they talking about? The entire reason why this is happening, the entire reason why this is happening is because there's no due process. That is his government that he endorsed. That is the guy he endorsed, and that is what he is doing, and that is what his fan base is pushing for. It's not about an incentive structure. It is a deliberate mechanism of mass deportations that are done expeditiously without due process in direct violation of court orders.
That is now embarrassing.
That's crazy.
Right? And it's scary. We have the same problem in the UK in terms of the illegal immigration. And if we ever get a government that's going to deal with that, we're also going to have to remove a lot of people who are there illegally. They shouldn't be there. A lot of them are. And, you know, like I said, we had a report that shows they're way more likely to commit sexual crimes, way more likely to commit violent crimes, they're way more likely to commit all sorts of crimes. We are going to have to remove them, but you have to...
I'm from the UK. Who's this loser? He's trigonometry is the name of the... Trigonometry is the name of the... Or is it trigonometry or trigonomics? Whatever it's called. It's like the name of the podcast.
Do it in a way where there's due process.
They're like woke, supposedly centrist guys. Tricknology? No. No, this is not I mean, this is a child of Yakub, but...
Yes, and a respect.
Are they trying to remove them in England?
No.
At all?
No. They're saying they are, but they're not removing them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the mistakes like that have to be corrected if you want reasonable people to be on board with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. If you want, you know...
They reported the Asman video to hell. I was just on TikTok. It got taken down. That is crazy.
Compassionate people to be on board with you. You can't deport gay hairdressers seeking asylum. That's crazy. And then throw them in an El Salvador prison. That's
not even his country.
Right.
You deport people back to their country.
Right. It's nuts. It's just, what was the story with the student that got arrested for writing an op-ed piece?
Is that the Khalil guy or
no? The woman.
Is that the girl from the Korean girl from? Is that the Korean girl from?
No, it's not the Korean girl. Why don't you guys just like Google this? What's going on? What is happening here?
From Columbia University. I don't know.
Korean.
No, that's a different one. There's so many of them. There was a woman who got arrested for writing some sort of a thing. This is a Turkish student at Tufts University. Latest Palestinian supporter swept up in U.S. crackdown.
Right.
What did she get arrested for? Have you seen this one?
No.
I delved into it.
Joe, sorry, could I have the lighter, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
There you go.
She engaged in activities in support of Hamas, a foreign terrorist organization that relishes the killing of Americans.
But the department did not provide evidence of that support.
Right.
What does that mean? I heard she wrote some piece on Israel.
Yeah. I don't know what the law of that is because she's not an American national.
Right.
But instinctively...
Why are you guys... Okay. If you don't know what the law is, here's a really cool thing you can do. It's called asking Jamie to Google it. Okay? Like, this is crazy, bro. This is a crazy back and forth. It's like two dudes that don't know the answer to basic questions and have no interest in finding out. Yeah, let's ask this random British guy who admits he doesn't even know, or three dudes, not two dudes. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Guys, what are we doing? What is happening here? I hate that it's like that MHUD clip that he always sends me of Joe Rogan talking to Eddie Bravo. This is what that Uber driver listens to and then repeats the same shit. Yeah. Hasan, you do the same thing, Law. Thank God the other dork is gone, Law. Hasan, you do the same thing. Really? You're comparing what I do here to what they're doing right now. If there's something I don't know, I Google it, you dumb. It's the most basic thing. Do you guys just come in here, close your eyes, and plug your ears and go, la, 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 I can't hear you? The fuck is this? Lol, yes, sometimes. Give me an example, please, of an instance where I don't know something and I give you an opinion, like a firmly held opinion on said thing that I'm not knowledgeable on. And then if I'm wrong on it, I just double down on it. Please give me a clear-cut example of something or I will ban you, okay? Especially something that pertains to politics, like ban me. Oh, God, you're such a loser, dude. Ban me. I want to be a warrior. I want to be a warrior. You're not going to ban you. You're irrelevant and worthless. It's worthless to ban you.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's a lot. That's like crazy.
You had the microphone for the first time in your life in front of a stadium full of people. You have the microphone, and this is what you do with it. Oh, this is lame, man.
I think she's been in America though since she was 7.
Right. Has she?
I believe so.
No, that's the Korean. That is the Korean girl. As a Jew with a child, you have put my life in danger and my daughter's life in danger. You will end up in Gitmo, even if I have to put you there myself. Elusive Gaming 69. Did I put your life in danger by saying I'm going to play video games and not play, and it's elusive? Is that what you mean? What do you mean? As a Jew with child, you should be endlessly more afraid of the American government using your religion, okay, falsely to do Nazi shit. How the fuck do you not see how that's going to turn on you inevitably? God damn. You know what's elusive? Your brain. Go raise your goddamn children. ICE is out here rounding out people. The administration is saying like shalom about all the people that they're rounding up. And they're rounding them up because they're rounding them up and placing them in concentration camps. These people have criticized a foreign nation, and your dumb ass doesn't understand how this might look poorly upon the entirety of the Jewish population. Are you that fucking short-sighted that you think I'm your enemy? Someone who actively combats anti-Semitism. You're so fucking brain broken. Someone lied to you. Someone duped you. Okay? Yeah, I don't think this is a real person either.
I thought she had a student visa.
I think she's been in America since she was very young. I think that's one of the things that I had read.
Okay. She'd previously been arrested in April 2024 for taking part. Yeah.
Taking part in protests at Columbia University. So it seems like
you're the one glazing terrorists. There's never been a moment where I've glazed the IDF or the American military. So no, I'm not glazing terrorists. Dumb fuck. Also, you're a fucking terrorist. What do you think this is? This is literally terrorism. Just because the government backs this attitude that you have right here doesn't change the reality that this is unironic terrorism. You're telling a fucking person that you disagree with that you want to put them in a fucking concentration camp, dumb fuck. How the fuck do you think you're on the right side of this? How do you think you're on the right side of any argument? You're the one glazing terrorists. You should be in Gitmo because I misunderstood your position and I disagree with you, which means you should be put in fucking Guantanamo Bay. I'm the good guy. I think you should be extrajudicially locked up in a concentration camp. I'm the good guy, by the way. Not even a fucking hint of irony, no reflection. Yeah, I'm going to do it myself. No, the fuck you're not, for the record. You're not going to do shit if I have to do it myself. Take care of your child, dumb fuck. How are you so goddamn... I doubt this person is actually Jewish. They're just LARPing. Because there's no way... There's no way that you are this fucking brain broken where you're like, as a Jew, I am advocating to extrajudicially place you in a concentration camp because of a disagreement at best and a misunderstanding at worst. God damn.
Columbia protests, right?
And I'm in two minds about that because I think on a free speech basis, unless I don't know the law.
Just for clarity, that was a second person.
Second person.
Oh, this is a second person that was arrested?
Second arrest.
Oh, second pro-Palestinian Columbia University protester. Okay, so this second person has been arrested before. Yeah. Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, are we really arresting people for protesting? Or are they protesting and also causing vandalism and violence? Like, what are we saying?
We don't know. Right.
Right.
But I think there's the legal thing from what I've read is very complicated because if someone is not a U.S. national,
right,
they may be subject.
I bet you he did not read shit. Okay, he did not, because if he did any reading whatsoever on this matter, if he did any reading on this, he would know that this was completely unjustifiable. It's just like, it's not real. It's not a real thing. You can't do this. This is completely inappropriate. It's illegal. How are these guys acting like they're fucking experts? It doesn't make sense.
Subject to different rules, or they may not. I think that's a kind of live debate. But from a purely principles perspective, someone being arrested for writing an article seems extreme.
30-year-old was arrested and physically restrained by immigration officers near her apartment close to Tufts University's Somerville campus, where she was a PhD student. 6 plainclothes officers surrounded, how do you say that name? Ozturk?
Ozturk.
As she walked alone. Neighborhood surveillance video appears to show the officers did not show their badges until she was restrained, the video shows. She affiliated with prestigious American universities to be arrested for purported activities related to terrorist organizations amid the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. So what did she say, though? Like,
she engaged in activities in support of Hamas. But what does that mean?
Right. Without specifying what those alleged activities were. Yeah, this is scary shit.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's just protesting. I mean,
dude, it's not even protesting. This person was fucking kidnapped off the street for writing an article about her own university in the university newspaper, co-authoring an article that said, our university that upholds certain principles of like freedom, liberty, yada, 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 should divest from a country that is currently destroying said principles, that's currently doing genocide. That is literally the crime here. It's not even a fucking protest. And for the record, even if she unironically was like, I love Hamas and here is why. 5 reasons why I love Hamas. If she wrote an article like that, that's still not enough evidence to fucking, that's not a crime, okay? You can't deport someone over that. What are we doing? What a ridiculous precedent, dude. What is happening right now? These are supposed to be the free speech defenders too.
I don't know,
Look, the counter argument on this, and I think it's one that I, as someone,
This stuff is scary, and because of an anti-Semitism on the right, the day at work, I had a coworker ask me what I think of Jews. Oh yeah, that's the other side of this, of course. Because look, Joe Rogan and these like podcast bros aside, Americans don't fuck with this stuff. Like they don't. So every time this administration is like, we're disappearing people because of Israel, and also because of anti-Semitism, because Israel is for the Jews and Jews are for Israel. Jews only care about Israel is the thing that people are going to take away from this. Okay? And they're not going to like it. Yeah, sure, you're, shipping off brown people for the time being. But like even then, Americans are like, what do you mean? What do you mean we're deporting people that are here for the Jews? That's the takeaway from the average person. This is what I've been screaming about this whole fucking time. Oh my God. The toothpaste is out of the tube, by the way. There's no, I don't even know if they're ever going to be able to turn around and like fix the situation.
who visits the United States also feel is like, I don't think the United States would have given this person a visa if she had told them this is what she plans to do in America, right? So that's their argument. That's the argument that Marco Rubio is making, which is if we'd known you were going to do this, we were never going to give you a visa.
Right. I don't think this is the one that I'm thinking about that was here since she was 7.
No, that's a Korean girl at Columbia University, Joe.
Oh, okay. And they're talking about deporting her, right?
Yes, they're talking about deporting her, but I don't know enough about
and
that.
what had she done? Had she committed vandalism or...
I don't know enough about it. Jamie, if you get it up, then we can have a look at it. But that's the one you're thinking of. The girl who'd been here since she was 7 is a Columbia student.
This girl also went to Columbia. So she got a master's degree at Columbia.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Columbia is the hotbed.
Seems like that.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Why particularly Columbia?
Well, there have been a lot of protests, pro-Palestine protests in Colombia.
There she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. You know,
it's kind of wild that these guys, this podcast, every single person on this podcast has made a living talking about woke and cancel culture and freedom of speech. Every single person. Joe Rogan has done tens of thousands of hours at this point just on woke, free speech, and cancel culture. Okay? The trigonometry guys have done thousands of hours on woke, cancel culture, and free speech. Thousands. This is a direct, real threat to free speech. This is an actual existing, living, breathing, real world example of a violation of the First Amendment. And these guys are like, well, I haven't done a lot of reading. Okay, then do the reading right now. Do the fucking reading right now. And then make up your mind afterwards. How the fuck are you oblivious to this as someone who is a cancel culture warrior? These people are fucking cowards. I know their conscience here says something different, but their careers force them to not say what they truly mean. And that can go in either direction, by the way. Ultimately, it could go in either direction. They could be like, nah, it's actually awesome that they're doing this, but they're too afraid to say it out loud because they recognize what that sounds like. Or they're thinking, yeah, this is a little bit fucked up, but I can't say it because I have to be pro-Trump. It's funny how AustinShow requested hogwash and then left when it started. I know.
We're rapidly approaching the time where America and the UK is going to have a pretty uncomfortable debate as to what is acceptable and what is unacceptable when it comes to dealing with people who come here illegally people who commit crime, or even if they attend protests.
Yeah.
Where is the line? Because we're going to have to make a decision. Because until we do that and we start to actually apply the law as it's meant to be applied and put certain laws in place, then these type of things are just going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
100%, especially if someone wants them to happen. Because that's what my fear is, that a lot of these things are paid for and organized, and including a lot of these protests at universities. I think they're doing it on purpose. And I think they're trying to build up a lot of passion in these people for being disruptive, and a lot of passion for protest and passion for, and then they weaponize it. I really do. I believe that's exactly what they did with the Tesla buildings, with all the Tesla dealerships being light on fire. I think they weaponized it, and it's a good test run. You know, if they can weaponize it against Tesla, they can do that with a lot of other things and justify that kind of vandalism and fire and arson and all the chaos and property destruction.
I went to UCLA campus. This was May last year, and I went to a pro-Palestine demonstration, and I just went around just interviewing people, talking to students, and both on pro-Palestine and the other side. And one thing one of the kids said to me was, as he was trying to get into the library, he was like, you know, most of the people who are doing this, they're not from UCLA. They're not from this college campus.
Right.
What are they doing here?
Right.
He goes, look.
Wait, is he talking about the counter protesters? Because I was there. The protesters were absolutely UCLA students. The counter protesters were not UCLA students. So the idea that the college campus protesters were actually not UCLA students is a fucking abject lie. Is he just flipping the truth? Is that what's going on?
But fair enough. If you want to protest and you go to UCLA.
Oh my God, he literally is lying. He's saying the exact opposite of what happened. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. It is insane. It is insane. He said May last year. Yeah, at the time I went there, for the record. Like when I went to the UCLA campus protest, I guess he was there too. And he's claiming that the campus student protesters were not actually students, but the counter protesters, I guess, implied is they were. And the exact opposite is the truth, for the record.
That's all cool, whatever. Number one, don't stop me from getting an education when my parents have paid X amount for it. But number two, like, he pointed at one of the dudes. He was like, that guy's about 42. I know he doesn't go to my college.
Right.
Why is he here protesting?
It's being paid.
I can't tell if is he still talking about the counter? It feels like he's talking about the counter protesters. You aren't at Columbia, bro. No, he's talking about UCLA. They're talking about you. Okay, good one, chatter. God damn, what a bunch of fucking soulless monsters reacting to senators saying men and women are equal in sports.
Men and women. I'm gonna send you this, Jamie, because it's so kooky. You're like, come
Doctor
on.
Who.